Hi everyone, this is Laura Price from Steamy Tech and the Box of Making. Hopefully you're watching this video because you got one of these cool packets from it that has a gift from us to you in it with a really cool little keychain that you can make to celebrate 2017 or 2018 if you get a new one. And in this box, what we're going to do in this video is walk you through what's in the bag and the extra tools you'll need and then help you to put it together. So let me do a quick little opening here. You're also going to need for tools, scissors to get your bag open, a couple of pairs of pliers to put on the jump ring, and I'll show you how to do it if you don't have the pliers. You will want a screwdriver and some kind of glue. We use super glue and we love this Gorilla Glue, but there are other choices available as well. You can get all of this stuff at your local hardware store. So let's take a quick look at what's in the bag. When I open it up, you'll see that it has two little circles of wood, one with writing on it, that'll be the back of your piece, one without writing on it, that will be the front. You'll also have a set of screws, we're going to put those aside for now, and a set of gears. Now, with all of our projects, the wood comes straight off the laser from us, and we're going to encourage you to prepare it, sand it, decorate it, use Sharpies or paints or anything else you want, because you're going to make yourself a beautiful keychain that you're going to want to keep to celebrate the year. So you're also going to see when you open your bag of gears, three little gears like this with little circles in them, 2, 3, and one big gear that we'll put on top to make a little bit of a decoration. Okay. So your task first is to stop the video, find sandpaper to sand the gears, and then to decorate them however you want to. Now, if you don't want to decorate it, it's perfectly fine. You'll end up with a beautiful piece anyway, but it will run much more smoothly if you sand the pieces first. Now that you've decorated your pieces, remember you need to do your gears on both sides since we're going to see them through. We can now start to get set up to go build our project. We're going to start by opening your screw kit. Once you do, you should find in it a jump ring, a split ring, 3 nuts, 2 short screws, and 1 slightly longer screw. And the first thing you need to do is decide how you're going to arrange your piece. So if you want your gears like this, for example, or if you want a different color gear in the middle, you can decide what colors you want to put where if you've used Sharpies to decorate them. And then you're going to put this piece on top like that. So we're going to take our longer screw, put it through the top of the big gear, flip that over to get us ready to build. Then we're going to put a little glue on it. We're using super glue here. That's my recommendation for building this project. You can also do this part of it with wood glue, but then you have to wait very long periods of time and be very, very patient. So I'm going to use super glue to build this. You'll notice that I've now put that top piece together. I'm going to take the gear from my middle, flip it over upside down with your whichever side you want to have facing up, up. Put your gear on and push down to get it to seat nicely. Give it enough time so it's not going to slip loose, and you can drop that longer screw out and get it out of your way. Now we're going to take the 2 short screws and the 2 side gears. We're going to put this gear through the top of our piece, flip it over, and then I'm going to put a little dot of glue right here on the side of the nut. No, sorry, right here on the side of the screw. And we're going to take our nut, put the nut onto the piece like so. And we're going to tighten it down enough so that there's a little bit of space between the side of the nut and the piece of the wood. You can also make it just so that the top of the nut is flush with the top of the screw. Make sure your piece can spin nicely. And the other thing you want to make sure you do here is don't play with it while the glue is wet, because then you're just going to get that piece of that nut tighter and tighter, and you won't be able to make this work. Now we're going to repeat that other process with the short screw going into the gear. Again, we're going to come through the back, put a nut here just like so. Put a little bit of glue on that. Put your nut on it, and if you drop it, you can pick it back up. Just like that. Make it nice and loose so that everything spins loosely. And now you've got the only tricky part at all here in this project. We're going to take that double layer of gears that you put together. We're going to slide it through there, and you got to do a little bit of settling to make sure that it will still spin nicely. Then you can go into the back, and we're going to put the final nut on your piece, like so. Again, make sure when you do this that you keep the nut nice and loose so that we don't have it tightening up on your piece and making it not spin smoothly. You should have a piece that's spinning nice and smoothly like this. Now, flip it over, lay it on its back, and we're ready to put the back on. So put a little bit of glue in the middle, some around the outside edges. I'm going to also put a couple of little dots up here where the decorative cuts are to make sure it all stays nice and smoothly together. I can now set my top piece on like so. And the trick here is to get it nice and aligned. This is going to be your hard part, but once you squeeze with super glue, you can get it to stay still. It'll dry almost instantly if you squeeze it. If you've got any extra on the outside edge, you can wipe it off with a paper towel so that you don't get shiny edges on your project. Now we're done. We're ready to put on the final step, which is going to be your key ring. You can either do that by just sliding your split ring through here, or if you have a pair of pliers and you want it to lay flat, I'm going to use 2 pairs of pliers and I'm going to open this jump ring. The way to do this here is not to pull the jump ring open wide. It's to move them in parallel to each other. So you'll notice that I've got one pair of pliers holding down, the other one's facing up, and I'm actually going to use my arms to bend the half of the jump ring. I'll slide it through here. I'm also going to put my split ring on to save my having to do that myself later. Pick my pliers back up and again move them back together just in parallel so they're nice and smooth. You've got a nice tight joint there, and you've built your project. You're all set and ready to go. Enjoy.